Hi, I'm Joe, and today I'm going to be talking through with you about how to find an illustrator when you are self-publishing. So what I'm going to talk through is step by step how I found an illustrator for my book that is now on Amazon. So, so first off, with Createspace, and this has now gone to Kindle Direct Publishing. So maybe things have changed a little bit since I self-published. But wait till the end of the video and you'll find out exactly the different things that I went through so you don't make the same mistakes I made. So the first thing that you need to do is decide on the age range of your book. So if you go onto Amazon, you can actually do some research before you decide on your book. So see what your other competition is, see what the age ranges of the books are before you start your book. So that's the first thing to think about. The next thing to do is to decide on the size of book that you want to create. This is really important because Kindle Direct Publishing has certain sizes, whether you do a coloured book or a black and white book. And think about whether you want the majority of the book mainly text, or if you want images. Obviously, that would depend on the age range of the book as well, because obviously younger being more images. I decided I wanted to start with more of a picture book. So my aim was about 4 or 5 if the adult was reading. So it's mainly a picture book, and that's what I started with. My inspiration actually came from when I was lifeguarding. I found a lot of kids weren't understanding about beach safety, or even adults. So my book was about beach safety. So I already knew the topic, I already knew that I wanted to do this a long time ago, but actually understanding what age range I wanted to go for and the size of the book was really important. And it's something that's you need to think about beforehand before you get your images created, because it's very hard to then retrospectively change them to these set sizes that the printing company do. So there are some advantages with Kindle Direct Publishing. It is print on demand, which means you can self-publish yourself. You don't actually need to order a whole load of books either and have them all in stock. So what it means is somebody will go onto Amazon, they'll see your book, they put the order through, you get your commission, and then they'll print the book and send it off to the customer. It's like a win-win. And it's just Visit Joy, it just sits there creating money for me. And so the other thing to think about is, so where you want the images on the page. Do you want them a full-size image, or do you want an image with a bit of text in, or do you want your images like it's an older kid's book? Do you want mainly text and then just like tiny little images to the side, or are you creating an adult book? These are the kind of different things that you need to think about. I'll put a clip in right now of the different sizes that are available on KDP. It's not everything, because if you click on, there's more options. So it depends whether you want black or white or colour. Are you going to write the book yourself? So I chose to use a ghostwriter. I really struggled because this is the first time I went to Fiverr to find my ghostwriter, and then got the book, and it wasn't exactly how I wanted it, so I edited it myself anyway in the end. But that's the writing side of it, so maybe you're going to write it yourself anyway. But this is about finding an illustrator. So there are a couple of different websites you can go to. I suggest either Upwork or Fiverr. What you do is, once you've decided on the age range of the book and research other competition, maybe it'll kind of give you some ideas of styles of the illustrations that you want to use. Go to, I don't know much about Upwork, but I went and used Fiverr. So click into Fiverr, click an illustrator, then you can find children's illustrators. I would go for the top level or one below that. And then what you can do is contact the illustrators, ask them to send you examples of their work. This does a couple of things. This will find out how good their English is, so they can understand what you're requesting, and obviously the quality of their work. And so I did this actually for quite a few different people to figure out whether one of their drawings was actually like a unique one, and then all the other drawings, what quality the other drawings were in their kind of portfolio. And another thing what I figured out was that to try and figure out the pricing of the illustrations, because sometimes they'll list images and it's just like the most expensive illustration, and then when you start adding it up across the whole book, the price of your book's going to really go obviously up quite a lot if you're paying $5 versus $30 per illustration. And then what I did was I trialed out a couple of illustrators. So I found one that I really liked, that I felt like I could communicate with. I liked the style of the illustrations, and I sent them a trial image. So what I did was I would send off one scene where I imagine one image would be. I sent off basically what was in that scene, and then what she did was she sent back 3 different sketches in pencil, and I would choose which sketch I liked the most, and then she would take that final sketch to a final illustration picture. And then when I was happy with that, then I ordered the rest of the book. So that's something I would suggest doing, because otherwise, another thing to think about is when you're creating your book is creating a bleed on the edge. So again, all the current guidelines are in KDP self-publishing. I'll put the link below. Just think about, because with your images, you might want to leave important stuff away from the edge of the book, because what happens is it gets printed. You should have like a bleed edge, and that will get cut off. So then you don't end up with like a white edge around your illustrations. So that's something else to think about ahead of time. The next thing I would do is, once you've loaded your book, you can actually preview the book in KDP just to make sure it's all kind of sitting right on the pages. It works with how you've done the illustrations, and then order a draft copy. I ended up doing this a few times because I chose the wrong size the first time, and it was actually really small. So I actually went bigger. I think for a kid's book, it's nicer to be bigger. Something to also think about is, when I was using Createspace, they only had paperback, they didn't have hardback. That might have changed now. So again, it's just something to think about. The hardback books are generally a lot more expensive, and whether you want to buy a hardback book for a kid that may outgrow the book really quickly is totally your decision. But yeah, I did order quite a few different drafts so I could check the book out in print to see what the quality was like of to make sure the colours really came out and things like that. And just that it was kind of what I was happy with. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button and notification bell, and I'll be posting the next video in a week.